Once you've got ActivInspire 1.5 installed, you're going to see some new settings or preferences appear. In this active tip, we're going to explain the basics of what these settings mean and why it might be important for you to create a special profile for these new settings. Now, to see the new settings, go to ActivInspire Preferences, and then in your profiles, go to Settings, and then the tab down here for Dual Mode Active Boards. And you can see all the different settings here. And we're going to talk about many of these in this active tip and in future active tips. But a few things to note here. These settings will only be helpful if you actually have a dual mode board. That would be an Active Board 500. And also, don't confuse dual mode with dual user. Dual mode means both pen and touch will work on your board, and that's only on an Active Board 500. Dual user means that you can use two pens at the board at the same time. That would be an Active Board 300 Pro or an older Active Board that's been upgraded with Active Arena. And you can see many of the options here deal with touch inputting, what the default tool for touch is, page gestures, and pan and zoom. Now you're probably going to find that sometimes you want to have touch on and sometimes you want to have touch off. An example of this is maybe you're emphasizing a point and frequently point and touch items on the board, and the last thing you want is something to automatically pop up that you don't want to talk about. So how do you change this quickly with touch on and touch off? Well, let me show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my preferences, going ActivInspire Preferences, and then you can see under Settings, I go to Dual Mode Active Boards. And then from here, right now, it's defaulted to ignore the touch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my touch on. I'm going to do full touch support. But before I save it, I'm actually going to save this as a new profile. So I'm going to save as, and we're going to call this touch on profile. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to hit done. Now I can see the profile is on. I'm on my touch on profile. So I have the touch on. Now if I want to turn touch off, a quick and easy way to do it, instead of going back into my profiles, so I'm going to go back, instead of going back into my profile customize menu, I'm just going to change profiles. And I'm going to go to my profiles at the board. Because this profile I've created previously, and I know that this one does not have touch support. You can see in my toolbar, there is no touch support. So a very quick and easy way to turn touch on and turn touch off with your profiles.